Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. It is Wednesday night. It is SARCO racing once again here. And Mr. Alan Patterson with me in the virtual commentary box once again. But I must say, a very, very different atmosphere in driver's briefing.
Hi, Dylan. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Indeed, it was... Yeah, you could hear the crickets. It was like deadly silent. There was no chirping. There was no banter. I think the guys realized we here tonight in Barcelona. It's around 5, and the serious stuff is about to happen tonight for sure.
And I suppose with me opening and say good evening, everybody, it is crunch time. I don't think really helped some of those nerves. Just understanding that tonight is a night that everything that they've done, whatever drop points they've dropped, whatever they've banked, this is the make or break, because they're going to be carrying that over into the next race. And the next race is the double point make or break.
Indeed. So depending on where they all stand right now, they've only got tonight and they've got next week. It's the last 2 rounds, as you say. Again, you haven't made it easy for them. This evening, it's an hour race coming from Barcelona, but you've thrown another curveball here. So the refueling is open, but they only have 3 tire sets for the whole session. That's for practice, quali, and race. So you've got another strategy going, and they're going to have to work very hard on focusing on that strategy and getting the best result they can.
And also not pushing those quali tires too hard, because at some point you're going to need to use that set again. But again, that is, do you shorten that last stint just to make sure that you have enough of that tire left? And this is exactly what we want. We want that unpredictability, and that's what we've been saying specifically for this season, is get the guys racing, get them on these unpredictable conditions, and let's roll the dice, I should say, and see what happens.
Yeah, that's what it's coming down to. Your timing and everything on this race as well, though, with the 60 minutes, we could call it a sprint, but you haven't made it a compulsory fuel change. Refueling is allowed, but the tire sets being 3 tire sets and 2 pit stop counts. Let's just count that on fingers. We've got 2 pit stops in 60 minutes. So they're going to have to use what the first set that they run in quali, they're going to have to start with, or they're going to have to change the strat and start with fresh tires and then try and run a long distance, maybe 45-minute, 50-minute, and then do a slash and dash right at the end of the race. But the strats are going to be all over the place tonight, whether people pit early, mid-race, or near the end of the race.
And look, I think the optimum is keep the car low and run 3 20-minute sprints, but there will be those that will try and run a little bit longer, but then you start wearing out the tire. Does that undercut now come into play? There are lots of variables, and the next couple of minutes for that starts and the qualifying is going to tell us exactly who's going to be doing what.
Definitely, yeah, I think you nailed it right there. Also, just going and looking at the point standings at the moment, it's also got very close. The gaps in both Pro and Pro-Am are, about 12 points apart in total. The 3 teammates, in fact, from Vapor up at the top of the logs, first and second. But Isham Domingo hanging on to third with Sunjan Pillay, who's right there. And as I say, the gaps from there down all the way to eighth place, Ruan Heineke, they're 12 points apart, covering 5-6 drivers.
Not only that, when we look at the Pro-Am, I think there's 8 points between Ulrich, Etienne, and Terry Wilfred. So there's going to be close battles throughout the evening tonight, and that is exactly what we want.
That's it. This is it. We've rolled the dice, and what the drivers are going to get, they're going to get, and we're going to see exactly how good they're going to be with the conditions. You can also see the sun setting here on the track. The ambient temperature, I think, was set at 17 or 18 degrees.
So it is currently 17 degrees. That is correct.
Okay, there we go. Awesome looking field of cars there in the pits, and we got, what did you say? I think it was 23, 25.
We're up to 28, and
hey.
The reality that we have is what we haven't mentioned is that 1-lap qualifier. It is the 1-lap flyer, and we've seen how it can make or break your race. Where you kind of are able to get away with a little bit of the not optimal qualifying is using that pit strategy, but then there's also pit windows. So the guys are not going to be diving directly into the pit straight off the line. They have to do at least 1 lap before they start making their way into the pits. And here we go. This is now the start of qualifying. And
15 minutes, yep.
Who is going to be pulling that trigger is always the interesting question. Because do you want to just hang back and see what your fellow compatriots are doing, or do you get it out there and get that lap done and dusted? Well, Jason Farmer, it looks like he's not going to stick around. He wants to get these nerves over and done with, and he's going to get out there and put on his lap, followed right behind him by stablemate teammate Ulrich de Joche, who is fighting for that top spot in Pro-Am.
Yes. Yep, that's me. I can't sit around and wait and twiddle my thumbs. I've got to get out, get on the track, get my head down and do it. So I kind of understand what's happening here with Jason Farmer and the lights going out and getting it done as soon as they can. But it's Barcelona. It's Circuit de Catalunya. This isn't an easy track. It looks easy, but make no mistake. That last section, that last chicane that you still have to negotiate, it's very easy to put 2 tires too far over the barriers, the track borders, and that's going to then make the quali session null and void. It's imperative that you get a good quali here, because this track requires you to be as close to the front row of the grid as possible.
And not only that, I find it very tricky to overtake. Yes, you've got a great opportunity into turn number 1. You can get on the inside of turn number 2, but once you start going to turn 4, all the way through 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's generally single file. You can have a little lunge onto the inside of 10, but then 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, it's a single file there for me.
Correct. It's there are only 2 proper overtaking places, but you do stand a chance of getting past somebody should they make a mistake, or should they run into a set of corners too hot, and you can pick up an opportunity and you can get past in a non-conventional way. But as you said, down into T1 after the long straight, the huge draft coming off the main straight, as we see Marco Bezuidenhout in the all-powerful Lexus going into T10. That's that sharp hairpin as well, and that's a very good opportunity as well if you get a good drive, known as the back straight here at Barcelona. But correct, the whole first sector and the whole last sector is pretty much single file.
And following does not help your tires. It overheats them. You're not able to keep them cool, so it definitely does make it very, very interesting as the race is going to go. But then it's at what point do the guys hit that undercut and start using those pit strategies to their advantage. Before we carry on, just want to give a shout out there to Antonio Gamble saying, have a great race everybody, come on LTR, Jason Farmer my boy, and there he is in shot. Antonio, as soon as we will keep the camera here and follow him on the exit of turn number 12. Now this 13, if you can go wide there, and it just hampers your ability to get back to the right hand side for 14, and then 15 you run a little bit too wide, you hit that curb, bounces the car, you lose that drive, and it compromises the exit through 16. But here we go, Jason Farmer crossing the line, and that puts him a 145.5, currently fastest, with Ulrich de Joche second so far, 145.8. Next up, Lucas will go to third on a 147.5.
It was a great lap there by Jason Farmer. He kind of held on to that as best as he could. Anything in the low 45s is going to be good, whereas the top tier aliens are doing 43s and so on. But with a one-lap attack at this, as one shot at this, it's not that easy to go that quick.
Johan VDB goes 4th, drops down to 5th as we got Jonathan Benz goes into
Unreal.
1st place. 145.2 there for him. That's a great one-lap attempt.
That is a great lap. That was very good. And Emily right there as well now, just gone over in a 146.4. So, she's just been bumped down now by Ruan Heineke, who goes quicker, 145 flat.
So
Sure.
that's a cracker lap for him. Next up, let's see Bafezeko. He's going to be starting his lap. He only has see, that doesn't make sense because it says 0 lap for him. Nevertheless, Jason Landsberg is next up. Crossing line, goes up to 2nd place in his Aston.
It's good. 145.2. Nothing wrong with that.
So Etienne fighting for Pro-Am. He's going to put himself in 8th place. Where did Terry Wolford put himself? Because he was out there. Mark Innebury, he goes, well, look at that. Let's go. 44.7 puts him on the top.
The Porsche.
Charles Darden now on his flying lap. We'll definitely see where that's going to put him a little bit later.
Terry Wilford's in the pits. His red line next to his name. So they probably didn't count then, Dylan.
I would assume so, yes, because he was out on track.
He was.
So that's going to be a back of the grid there for Terry Wolford. Definitely not what he would have wanted for his championship drive. 8th place for Atipino, 146.4.
I've noticed a big name down there. If you go back to that bottom part of the grid, Isham Domingo, I saw is also down there.
Dare I say that Isham Domingo has not been qualifying well of late, considering in the 2 sprints he was at the back.
Yeah. No, he's out now. It was red just now, so I thought it was he had unqualified, but it looks like he is out and he's doing a lap now.
So Tinus Botha out on his lap as well. And we've got 2 cars that are very close together, and this looks like it's a Alpha 1. Ah, there we go. I think that is Justin at the back there behind David.
Yeah.
Oh, Rainer Roberts. There we go.
Rainer Roberts.
Well, we do have there's Justin. I kind of figured that they would go and get out at similar times.
And similar parts of the track for obvious reasons. Or maybe not so obvious reasons.
Charles Dodden, 144.7.
Yo.
He goes quicker, and that is 0.0007 of a second is the difference there between him and Mark Innebury in 1st place. So David now on his flying lap, followed by Rainer Roberts, and here comes Justin crossing the start-finish line now. So we'll be on his fly, and we'll definitely pick them up as they come around. Isham Domingo.
Here we go.
So on his flying lap now with Andre Hildebrandt. He is going to cross line, and that should be his lap. No, that's the start of that. Our little lap counter is not being kind to us this evening at all.
A little shout out to Shamil Mohammed on the YouTube channel. SARCO Woensdag. How's it, Shamil?
Mooi man. Well, that look, the way he said it, it looks like it. SARCO Woensdag.
I'll say. Lekker. And there's Gabriel De Santos joining us. He's shouting for PV as well. So support incoming. As we see Chris Heineke through the final turn. And he goes over the line, and this puts him
on his flying lap.
On the start of his flying lap.
Correct. Mohat Musa,
also,
the current championship leader, but doesn't have lots of points banked. The person that does have the banked points is Andres Rodio. So Mohat Musa is going to have to keep it nice and clean for this race. Get that position up to hang on to that final first position. Well, Tinus Botha now going to be crossing the line, and he will put himself into first place, 144.5. Absolute cracker of a lap there.
rock solid time there for the hybrid driver in the McLaren. Seems the McLarens are quite quick here as we watch. Renault Roberts just puts an end to that.
44.2.
44.
Justin Lotus goes 43.9.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Ferraris, yeah.
But where's the other Alpha 1 driver? Because David was with him. Isham Domingo is going to go 7th. There's David Farrell. He's in the pits. He didn't get his lap in.
He didn't get a lap in, so he's going to be at the back.
Andre Hildebrandt goes into 18th place. Just missed who had crossed the line there.
Flip van Zyl going into 12th place and pushing that into a 145.835.
So next up is Chris Heineke in the Porsche. Is he going to be able to get that 143.9, which is the Justin Lotus lap that is currently up there and very close to that wheel going just over the edge of that sausage curb. Chris Heineke, 17th. Something definitely went wrong there.
No, he was very deep coming into T14 and 15 through the last chicane.
Mohad Musa, 143.9, taking that challenge back to Justin Lotus, 0.003 of a second is the gap there. Our Japanese international, unfortunately, not getting that lap in, so he'll return into pits. The next of the Porsche laps is Marius Butner for LTR. See, according to my little lap counter, that is still a 0 lap, so he is not on the lap. Andres Herodio, second in the championship. He is just giving himself a bit of space between him and Marius. Yep. And thank you very much, Gerard Vosloo, one of our famous fans, ex-driver for SARCO, but then he did... I was going to say reconvene, but that's not. He did when you move to another country. What is it? Word I'm looking
relocate,
for.
Relocate.
That's the one. Thank you. 4th place there for Marius.
144.372. It's a great time for him in the Porsche. BMWs and Ferraris at the moment, but there's a big mix of manufacturers with the Porsche also up there. Daika Oka starting his lap, as is Andres Herodio, and Andres going to be pushing hard with the BMW. Earlier we were kind of watching the unofficial practice, or the official practice, and you said that the BMs were nowhere, but the Ferraris are all at the sharp end of the stick. So we'll see what happens now once quali's over here. Andres Herodio looking very good in the Vapor BMW, and I think these are possibly the last two. Has Sunjin done a lap yet? Sunjin's still in the pits.
So I think Sunjin, it has not shown that he's been out. He's got 2 minutes. So if he is going to do, but I don't have a red flag or anything for him. So it looks like he hasn't gone out yet. There we go.
Yeah.
Well
he's leaving it
spotted.
Right to the and there, sped out the pits. He'll try that again. Doesn't have much time, eh?
Yo, he's leaving it very, very late. He's going to have to. He's have to get quite a bit of a flyer under his belt to make sure that he is able to get that lap, because
very.
It's going to be tight. It's going to be very, very tight. Our Japanese international. Oh, that seemed wide. Is it going to be a valid lap when he crosses the line? No, it is not.
No, shame, bad luck.
And Andres Herodio, he goes into 3rd place. So Justin Lotus in a Project Vapor sandwich there.
44.0. That is a great lap. Right, Sunjin's on it. He's got to do his out lap at a quali pace if he's going to make this this time. Jude Neville on the YouTube channel. LNR. Matric got in the way. Was really excited for Barcelona. Bad luck there, Jude. This will then have to be your drop, and you're going to have to make it really count next weekend. Next week, sorry. Oh, Chris on the YouTube, how's it? Chris saying he forgot to load his setup for quali.
Oh, no.
Oh, Chris. Gee, buddy.
And there we were waiting for wonderful, beautiful things. And then
it was a
all of a
47.
sudden, 17. Like, oh, that was something happened there. But thanks, Chris, for coming clean with us. It really does help us.
Thanks for the feedback, buddy. Right, Sunjin, what's the time countdown left here on this race? On the 20 seconds.
He has got 20 seconds, so he left it very, very close.
He has the most glued up, stickied up track to put the best time in that he can. It's going to have all the grip that he needs and some. So this is it, the last blast for Team Alpha 1, and we'll see where this puts him.
So
he heads into T1 and T2.
And that is such an interesting line that he's taking right at curb on the inside, just as off that little sausage curb, and then you can see a nice early turn in and letting the car run out through turn number 4, and that is showing that it's the end. So he's going to have to hurry up here as he now goes into okay.
Okay, there's something not right with that setup there. You didn't have an end time of qualifying after quali, possibly. Anyway, there we go. Unfortunately, Sinjin not getting a time in, and we're on the grid, sitting with him in 26th place. So this is going to be a drive from the back, and see where he gets he can place his car.
Well, what we can do quickly is if we just run through the current grid, it is going to look like this. Mr. Patterson, would you like to take it away?
Sure. So, Moed Musa in pole at the front end with Justin Losas next to him. Behind them, it's Andres Herodia, the second teammate of Moed Musa, with Reino Roberts next to him in the Alpha 1 Ferrari. Marius Botma in 5th. Next to Marius Botma, it's Tinas Buerta for hybrid. Then we have Charles Darden in his Ferrari in 7th, with Mark Henneberry in the Porsche in 8th place. Ruan Haneke is currently in 9th place, and Isham Domingo in 10th, the third of the Project Vapor boys. Then we have Jason Landsberg in 11th place in the Aston Martin. Jonathan Bentz ends up in 12th in his Ferrari, with Jason Farmer in the McLaren in 13th. Next to him, it's Ulrich de Jager in his Ferrari in the Pro-Am Challenge. Flip van Sale then in 15th. Nkulu next to him in the big Mercedes AMG. Oka from Japan, our foreign driver, in 17th. Hatipina in the 60 BMW in 18th. Emily Benz in 19th place. And next to her, it's Etienne Mouton, rounds up your top 20. Chris Haneke in his Porsche in 21st. Lucas Jubé in 22nd next to him. Then we have Marco Bezuidenhout in the big Lexus V8 in 23rd. Andre Hildebrand next to him in 24th place. Johan van der Venter in 25th. And then Sunjin Pillay, who didn't get his lap time in, unfortunately. David Farrell, Matsi Vadonda in 28th. And we have Terry Wilford, the V8 specialist, at the back of the grid.
Talk about mixing up. So we're definitely going to have to see what those quick strategies are going to be for the guys at the back to make sure that they do find their way up the order. But we are most certainly do not need to sign them out just yet.
No.
It is going to be an hour race, and it is green light, and we are racing as we start heading down into turn number 1. And there's always anxious times as they start hurdling into that turn 1. Mohat Musa and the 2 BMWs have been able to get away out in front.
Into T1 they come, and the BMWs are clear, with the Alpha 1 boys 3rd and 4th respectively, and a lot of pressure coming from Marius Botma, who actually goes up the inside and goes past Renault Roberts' Ferrari. So nice clean first sector, T1, 2, 3. And the whole field, in fact, has got through cleanly, but they are still side by side as they head into the long right-hander. And there's a huge collision up front. And cars are just piling into this. There is a lot of coming together. I see a Porsche there. The Mercedes-Benz of Nkulu's been involved. But they're up and going, and off they go down to T5, hairpin to the left. And then they're heading down to 6, 7, and 8. This is a rhythm section as they head towards the back straight.
Let's see if we can just get a little glimpse of what had happened there. So a little bit higher up. Oh, yeah, I've got Isham in 11th now currently, but now we can get back to the live racing and get back to our drivers out in front.
It's not Isham. I mean, it is Isham. It's Andres Radio second. So the Vapor Boy is still 1 and 2. Justin Lotus in close proximity with Rainer Roberts into 4th again, and Marius Botner, who was challenging for that place. That's your top 5 right now with a huge gap. And then we drop back to Tinus Buerta in the hybrid McLaren in 6th. Charles Darden, he's dicing with him as they come into T1. And guys are side by side there. It looks like Charles Darden's gone right past the Tinus Buerta car.
It looked like he went around the outside there, so yes. An absolutely fantastic move. And there are still lots and lots of moves happening here. Sanjan Pillay, look at that. He's already up into 13th place now. Ooh, moves on to the inside. Emily, just a little tap on the back. So Sanjan does still go forward. No further damage there. Terry Wolford, he's up 9 places into a 20th from 29th, and he has got Jonathan Bentz all over the rear as our Japanese international has a little spin around there in the background.
Yes, saw that happening, but yeah, the guys coming from the back got good starts and they're up and running. Sanjan making a great couple of first laps, and he's trying to get up there as quickly as he can into the top 10. But here we go, watching Andres Serodia, and he is getting some pressure applied from Justin Lotus just behind him, the Team Alpha 1 driver in the Ferrari, and he is almost in the toe now. So Andres Serodia is going to have to watch his mirrors. We know the M4's got a lot of power, but the Ferrari's got some great turn of speed, and they are now gapping a little bit from Rainer Roberts in 4th place. Further back, Mark Henneberry in the Porsche all over the back of Tinus Buerta as they go over the line, and Mark's going to do a big send up the inside. He's in the draft. He's going to pull out up the inside. There's nothing Tinus can do about this. And I say that, but they're going to T1 side by side, and Tinus holds the position.
There was actually great awareness there for Mark, knowing that Tinus was still going to have that move. I've just seen Sanjan Pillay move up another place. Him and Emily have been battling, so it looks like Sanjan did go back down to 14, but he has got that place back from Emily. And with Mark Henneberry just not being able to take that place over Tinus, he has just slowed himself up just a little bit and is now in Ruan Heineke's clutches, who now has Jason Farmer right behind him, 0.4 of a second.
So now that we had exclamation mark for Ulrich de Jager and Terry Wolford, 19th and 20th. And there's a Porsche on the side of the track there. There's a Porsche, there's a yellow flag just after T8. I can see it, I can't tell you who it is.
I'm trying to grab it now. It is Marius. Let's see if we are able to just have a look in the replay. Oh! So just catching the curb as he went through the chicane there, and unfortunately for him, has to wait for all the traffic to come past. So very unfortunate there for Marius.
Oh, and he's just been collected again. Oh no, that was the end of that replay. So into the pits, here we go. Jason Farmer in early with Emily Bentz and Ulrich de Jager, who I said earlier just had a slight collision. So we've got some strategies happening here. People pitting early and trying to get some damage repair done. And we'll also expect them to be possibly fitting the second set of tires on the cars. But what at the moment? Sorry, Andres Serodia with the quickest lap at the moment.
So what I did want to say is that to go a little bit earlier now, get another set on, it might just be, you just need that 30 seconds just to calm the mind, reset that strategy. We did say that the tension was quite high in that driver's briefing. Just take a little breather. There's Etienne trying to have a little look on the inside of Terry Wolford, and these are the Pro-Am Championship contenders.
I'm counting 6 cars in the pits at the moment. Car 4, as I can see, the first car that's rolling, so that's Jason Farmer, and he's out. But Emily Bentz, Jonathan Bentz, Isham Domingo, Nkulu, Ulrich de Jager, there's a bunch of cars, you can see them in the pits. And the leaders are coming through the last sector, so these guys are all going to drop down. That seems like an exceptionally long pit stop, but I think some of these guys got caught up in the first lap collision, so they're very far down. They're actually going to be going a lap down here.
And that is all part of what this little mini endurance is all about, is to try and stay out of that blue flag train, because now what happens is that you've just got faster guys behind. As good save there by Hildebrand in the background, just managing to catch that, nearly got himself all the way around, but good save there for Andre.
Etienne Mouton going over the start-finish line, and he currently in 17th place, last lap time of 47.3. We compared that with Muat Musa now, who has the quickest lap of a 143.7. So huge difference in lap times between the Pro and Pro-Am guys. Justin Lotus, again, right on the back of Andre Sorodia, and they have now traffic ahead of them with the guys having come out the pits. So this is going to be a little bit interesting with some back markers who aren't exactly slow, but they just they had to get pit stops done and dusted, and that's going to affect now how the leaders deal with the lap traffic.
It's all about patience. It's trying not to force your hand, and you can see one of the Ferraris of Ghostworks just seeing that the leaders are coming through, just getting out the way. So well done there. But the race that is really starting to heat up is this one between Terry and Etienne Mouton. It looks like Etienne is going to have the run. Terry will just hold the inside line in that heavy braking zone at turn number 10. Will Etienne try the cutback here? But now he will be on the inside. He will have to let Terry go through, because Terry's now going to have the inside through turn number 12. And we'll have to follow him single file now through 13, 14, 15, all the way through 16.
Etienne Mouton was close there. I mean, he was almost up alongside the A-frame, the B pillar. But again, and he runs a little bit wide coming out of that. He would have had to have lived there, or he's going to get a track warning. Another car coming into the pits, I just saw in the pit lane there. Look at the leaders here. This is Musa and Sorodia. They're now attacking each other. We've been watching this the whole season. These guys don't seem to have any kind of team orders within the team. It's fair, good, clean racing amongst the teammates. So Muat Musa and Andre Sorodia are going at it and matching lap times. 43.757 versus a 43.900, with Justin Lotus hanging on. He's the next best of the rest for Alpha 1 at a 44.042 on his last lap.
And I think just from the battle between Mohat and Andre, is both of them are formidable drivers. Mohat, if he does win, he is going to set himself up to become the first double SARCO champion, where Andre Sorodo, he's trying to get this championship under his belt. So this is a fight for the season, not only this race. And Justin is still in the running for the championship as well.
Yeah, this is going to be seriously close. Yeah, we catch up to Sunjin Pillay, who's arriving on the back of Jason Landsberg's Lexus. And just there behind them is our man Chris, who had the confusion with his setups in quali. He then did answer us on the YouTube saying, what can I say? It's going to be an exciting race from here. I like the attitude of Chris there. But look at the defensive run, as this is Ruan Heineke that we're looking at now, with David Farrell just behind him, and Ruan having to run very up against the apex of T1 to defend his position. They run through T2 and then the long right-hander T3. Here's Tennis Buerta all on his own in 6th place, and just up ahead of him he's also got a bit of lap traffic that he's got to deal with. Charles Darden, however, is right there, and Charles Darden, I think, is following Emily Bence, who has had an early pit stop. Oh, and here there was a bit of, hang on, we have to brake and we have to avoid that.
A little a touch, which now allows Tennis to get up on the inside. This is for position between himself and Charles Darden. And look, there's Mark Ennery coming along for the ride on the confusion. But now Charles on the inside through that very fast T9. Is Mark going to be brave on the brakes? Will he have a little lunge into turn number 10? It looks like he's going to have a look. The fence on the inside. He's going to have to get that drive out, or else Charles will be on the inside through 11 and sets himself up for 12. But that was Charles Darden putting some pressure on to try get through, clipping the back of one of the Ghostworks Ferraris and losing out to Tennis. As well as Mark, as he goes very, very wide, and I'm sure Charles is going to be very happy to see that and is going to hopefully get a run on him. Then just behind here is still this battle between David Farrell and Ruan Heineke as they cross the line to begin their 7th lap.
We literally don't have enough cameramen to cover all the dices currently happening on the track. Maria Hall going almost trouble, so she saw that slide that we saw earlier on. Charles Darden also getting coming together here with Chris Heineke. It looks like Mark Hennebury's been turned around here somewhere. There he is in the background. So T1, Mark Hennebury got turned around into the braking zone. He has lost about 5.
Oh! Yeah, agreed. So unfortunate that there was that contact, but that rear did let go. But it does seem like the guys are really throwing everything at this. And we mentioned the Terry Wilfred and Ayrton Maton battle earlier on. This is still happening. But where is Ulrich de Jager? Because he is currently leading this championship, and he is down in 27th place. So I wonder whether he was caught up in the tangle there through turn number 3 at the start of this race.
He was. And Ulrich's also got one pit stop under his belt, I think. So even though he's down in 27th, he's essentially got half of his project all done. They've still got a second pit stop that they've got to do, and we shall see where this pans out later on in the race. But at the moment, we are 45 minutes and counting. Ulrich de Jager over the line. Andre Hildebrandt in 19 changed the collision somewhere. Possibly a little contact with somebody and a yellow flag there, but he did. He turned the Ferrari down. He's waltzing Matilda-ing this car all over the track right now. And this is in the last sector between T13 and the final chicane. Nice and easy. Just take it slow. There we go. It's facing the right direction, and
away he goes. Yep. And I wanted to go back and just have a look, and I realized that by the time we get there, I was on that camera for so long that I might have just missed it. But that is the battle for first, second, and third place currently. Justin Lotus just hanging on there with 1.3 seconds behind Andres Rodeo. And if I look at the last lap of these three drivers, Mohat Musa 144.09, Andres Rodeo 144.08, Justin Lotus 144.04. 0.04 of a second is the gap of these three drivers' last laps.
You know, they're kind of matching each other's laps, and it's obviously helping a little bit for Sorodia in second, and especially if Justin can just close up that gap a little bit more and get into a double toe here from the big M4s ahead of him. They have definitely gapped their way off Renault Roberts, who is now the best part of 10 seconds back in fourth place, and he's having a very lonely drive back there. And then Tinus Buerto hanging on to 5th place, and that's your top 5 at the moment. But Muad Musa currently holding the quickest lap time. Andres Heredia is just following him around at the moment. There isn't really a challenge for position, but I honestly don't think that there is anything that Andre can do. I think Muad is just positioning the car perfectly and running race pace, the quickest lap times he can, and there's nothing that Andre can do about it.
Well, there's almost nothing to separate them, because I said 0.04 the last lap. Mohad 44.34, Andres Heredia 44.28, so that's 0.06. Justin Lotus 44.32, so that's 0.02 difference between himself and Mohat. And when you start talking hundredths of a second is the difference in the lap times, very, very tricky to try and gain just a little bit of an advantage. But as soon as Justin is able to get a little bit of a toe, that is definitely going to help his cause to get closer and start applying some pressure.
I'll tell you what, compared to the previous lap, Justin was very close there. We've dropped down to Terry Wilford, who is 7/10 off the back of Etienne Mouton. The previous lap, Etienne Mouton was very deep through the first sector corners there that we just watched. 7 and 8, he was actually almost half in the sand trap. But he has managed to hang on to his position right ahead. Looking at Sunjin Pillay now in 9th place, and he is right on the back of Ruan Heineke, who peels off and heads into the pit lane. So Sunjin just climbing his way up. Charles Darden also hitting the pit lane, and Sunjin moving up into 7th place now. Chris Heineke also going into the pits. So we're at 42 minutes. This is kind of the strat that you were talking about earlier, Dylan. 20 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yep.
This is on that window right now for pit stops.
Because then you're able to keep your car relatively light. You're only really going to need about just on about 30 liters. So the car can be run very light. You can stiffen the suspension. You don't need much body roll, and you just use maximum downforce, maximum grip, and just get those tires done.
Sunjin Pillay is still pushing along. Front of that Ferrari showing some battle scars, so he has had some contact earlier on in the race, but onwards he goes. Again, looking at the lap times up at the leaders, Justin Lotus, he is under the wing of these BMWs. If he can just get through this last sector a little bit faster, he'll be in that toe, and he'll be able to take advantage of getting a double toe down the long main straight here at Barcelona.
So that rear on Andres Heredia's car is not looking comfortable at all. Justin is now within half a second, which means that he is in that slipstream world now. He is definitely going to get a little bit of an advantage. Half a second is a gap between Justin and Andre, and I'm pretty sure by the time they get to the start-finish line,
it grew a little bit. That BMW's got horsepower, man.
And it kind of seems like once it goes into that 3rd, 4th, 5th, and then all of a sudden it just starts pulling. Sunjin Pillay taking advantage of some of the guys going into pits. Sunjin now up to 5th place, 21 places from where he qualified. Terry Wilford and Etienne Mouton, they've just traded places. Let's see if we're able to get back and see that quickly. Oh. But now Terry Wilford taking the line into the pits.
Yep.
And Justin Lotus now all over the back of Andres Heredia. 0.3 of the second now. Is he going to be able to get a good follow him quite closely through the next couple of sectors, or corners I should say, and we'll really be able to see the difference on the main straight from that straight line speed.
I think it's also how the different setups are involved here. The Ferrari's possibly got a little bit more wing to try and deal with the cornering, because he drops off the back of the BMW down the straight, but he closes up through the technical sections. And is that it? Is Andre's going in the pits?
Andre's going into the pits. So that was actually quite strategic and actually well thought. Specifically, just from my point of view, is that Andre sees that Justin is coming. He's getting the advantage. He's getting that slipstream. He is essentially helping Justin get closer to Mohat. So rather get out of the way, break the toe, and get the pit stop done. I think it's quite an interesting move, that.
I agree, and I think you pretty much nailed it with the 2020s. More cars peeling into the pits, including Renault Roberts from 5th. So we've just seen the best part of about 6 or 7 cars going to the pits. Marco Bezuidenhout now also in the Lexus. But to counter-argue that, Justin Lotus might have run a heavier fuel load to try and carry him longer into the race, and that's also been affecting his lap times and why he couldn't close in on the BMW. But that's going to then allow him to actually run a lot longer, and the Ferrari will get quicker towards the end of the race, but then he's going to have to do 2 fast splash and dashes at some point.
And I 100% agree. I just don't believe that the guys would run the heavier if you don't really need to carry that weight, knowing that there is that 2020 optimal car weight, get the pit stops done and move out. But again, we have seen some stranger things, to be honest.
What do we know? We're the commentators. These guys are driving, so let's see what happens. Oh, Renault Roberts and David Farrell here, 10th and 11th. This is for position for the Alpha 1 drivers. And they're going at it hammer and tongs. Just behind them as well is Landsberg. And again, I don't think there's any team orders in the Alpha 1 team. So these guys also having their fair share of dicing in between amongst themselves. Moord Musa in the pits, by the way, with Justin. So
I think Justin followed him 100%. Yeah. And Sanjan Pillay, who was in 3rd, now goes into the pits as well. So it's the battle of who's going to have the sweetest pit stop, making sure that they're hitting those blocks. And this is where the race can be won or lost.
Where's Andre Sorodia on the track? We need to see where he is. He's got to be coming around the corner shortly in the last sector.
Well, look at that. Look how close they are. So Andre Sorodio, he is now going through the last chicane. Oh no, where are the other two that dropped down the order? I can't find them. Okay, I found them. There we go. So coming out, and look, that gap is definitely opened up, and there's Andre Sorodio. So Justin has been able to jump Andre Sorodio in the pits with Johan van der Venter just, dare I say, getting in the way there.
Let's be nice about it. He just happened to position that Porsche right where it didn't need to be, and that caught him out completely. But yeah, 100% Justin Lotus managing to do the undertake, or the overtake at least, and has managed to jump past Andre Sorodia. But in saying that, he is right there, and this whole thing is not over. A lot of the back markers going to come into effect with the next couple of positions. But the status quo stays as it is, except Justin Lotus is now the Alpha 1 sandwich in the at least the meat in the Vapor 1 sandwich.
And we're definitely going to see the advantage of the BMW going down that main straight. And I'm pretty sure that Justin is not going to be liking that. But here we go. Renault Roberts 8th, David Farrell in 9th, and Sanjan Pillay in 10th place. All three of these Alpha 1 eSport drivers have done their pit stop.
And they're flying here. This is formation flying for the Alpha 1 boys. But I do believe Sanjan will be getting past them shortly. Moord Musa currently or still holding on to his fastest lappers. We see Mark Henneberry come into the pits and Etienne Mouton. Yeah,
Justin's deep.
He's going to feel the pressure, and they side by side. This passes. Oh, there's contact there as they come around. The final turn, and these boys are hugging each other as they go down the main straight. But I think the BMW has a more slippery setup, and he's in fact made that pass stick. There's nothing Justin can do. The horsepower and the aero setup on the BMW is just quicker on this track.
So we've got Flip, Mark and Etienne into the pits now. So positions jumping all over the place. And it did look like Andre went a little bit too deep there. out of turn 3.
Alpha 1 boys, there was a bit of contact between the two teammates that were running with Sunjin. David Farrell and Reno Roberts. I think they had a little bit of contact, nothing serious, because they're all still in formation here. But what I was trying to say is we'll see the likes of Justin Lotus hang on to the back of Andres Aradia all the way around the lap. And then as they come out the final sector, irrespective of how close he is, that draft will drop away down the main straight. He cannot keep up with the BMW. But driving well right now. And the guys are actually getting through traffic very nice and cleanly. We're almost halfway in the race. We've got 3 minutes to half point. And Muad Musa leads from Andres Aradia and Justin Lotus back in third place.
So quite interesting. Charles Darden has now gone into the pits to get his final pit stop done and dusted.
Yeah.
So this will be his race now to the end. Jabu Mazivan Dondo, this is his first pit stop. So he went very, very long. So a little splash and dash for him a little bit later on, which is quite different to what anybody else has done. He definitely has gone the latest compared to any of the other driver here this evening.
Yeah, the longest. Yeah, I mean, right there you can see the two different strats in front of your eyes. Matsi Vedonda coming in for his first stop. Oh, wow, that Ferrari. Terry Wilford was so sideways. But Emily Benz and the other car in the pits of Charles Darden completing their second pit stops. Just going to show the pit stop strats are all mix and match here at Barcelona today.
Talking about mix and match, Justin Lotus, second pit stop there for him.
Yep.
So I wonder whether that was just get all the pit stops out of the way, go fuel the car to the end, and have a go.
Yeah.
So interesting strategy there for him.
I think he's worked out that there might be a possible undercut happening here. Muad Musa and Andres Aradia are going to get caught up in some traffic, so there's nothing he can really do to fight the fight. He doesn't have the horsepower or the speed. He's going to rather get the pit stop out of the way and try and do some serious low altitude flying and see if he can get an undercut and get the Ferrari ahead of Saradia's BMW.
And just looking to see where he is currently on track, 12th place. He does have Mark Hennebrey ahead. But then there is quite a nice open gap to 7th, 8th, and 9th. So I think it could possibly work.
Good. We'll monitor this and we'll keep you updated as we see Muad going over the line. And is Andre right there? Andre's in the pits.
Andre's 4.1 seconds behind.
Oh, he is there. There he is.
And look at that. The person who's currently in third place, Tinus Puerta, up 3 places from where he qualified. Quiet race here for Tinus so far.
And just a shout out to everyone on the YouTube channel watching us live there. Thanks everybody. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. And if you wouldn't mind, and if you've got the time, hit the like button, the little thumbs up icon, and possibly subscribe. It just helps the community to feed the best that they can do to you. And this obviously also sponsored by NAG and MSI.
100%. And battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th. It's Ruan Heineke, Jason Landsberg, and Chris Heineke. Hold on. Rainer Roberts is only just over 1 second ahead of this battle. So quite interestingly enough, there is still the Alpha 1 esports battle between Sunjin Pillay and David Farrell. Sunjin not letting David Farrell get away from him just yet.
And Sunjin getting a great drive through that little technical section. I think there's going to be a committal coming down to the hairpin and into T10 here. Oh, there is. And
well
Sunjin
called.
goes up the inside.
Well called.
Makes a good pass there, nice and clean amongst the teammates. And I think, in all honesty, David Farrell realized that was coming and just said, carry on. I'm not going to fight you. You are carrying the quicker speed. Looking up ahead, Tinus Buda trying to go past Johan VDV's Porsche. And they were side by side. And we're back here with Jason Landsberg and this train of cars. Ron Heineke, Jason, and Chris Heineke in the Hexus Porsche. for slick racing.
And this is what is known as a three-way horse.
Isham Domingo having contact with Jonathan Benz. 16th and 17th, there's been an issue somewhere.
Well, we are able to just go back and have a little look-see. Oh! Yes, we don't quite know whether that car was sideways before. But look at this, further down now, this is 18th, 19th and 20th. Terry being hounded by aPit and Marius Botma. And that is 60, a BMW. I'm sure Ati will have a little move to the outside and just use that straight line speed. Marius right behind, and look at the drive that Marius has got, the double slipstream. They're going to be 3 wide into turn number 1. Who is going to be the bravest on the brakes? It looks like it is the BMW, and Marius sliding up on the inside for that position, and is going to now get the inside through turn number 3, and that now drops Terry Wolford down into 20th place.
That all started to Terry running deep through the last corner. The second last corner, the chicane. He hit that sausage curb in T14 and 15, and that slowed him up. Oh, there's this tennis. It is Tennis Buerta, the hybrid McLaren. He is sideways in a sand trap having a picnic right now.
Let's see if we are able to pick it up. So we have gone back the 20 seconds, and he's already been shown out in the sand trap. So something has definitely gone up there.
Towards the fast right hand and onto the back straight. This is where that happened, and it looks like he might have had a mechanical failure because he has not driven the car back onto the track.
Yeah,
he has in fact been towed back to the pits.
And Marius and Terry still having a almighty battle, and Terry just goes around the outside of turn number 11 to put him on the inside at 12. What a great move there. Isham Domingo right on the back now of Marco Bezzatanote in his Lexus. Lexus power versus BMW power, and it looks like Isham just got the better drive through turn number 16 and is now pulling away.
Isham having not a good day, having to come from the back of the grid and then having a little bit of coming togethers as well halfway through the at least on the opening section. So he is he's definitely had a heavy workout, let's put it that way, as we watch Jason Lundberg coming down towards the hairpin now in the Aston Martin, and he is following Chris Heineke's Porsche, and this 8th, 7th and 8th place for position, with not too far back it's Mark Henneberry in his Porsche, but
sorry, I just had to jump here because Marius, within half a second of Terry, they are still battling these two, and you can see some scuffs on both their cars. It looks like they both have a little bit of contact. So it is the battle of the bashes between Terry Wolford and Marius Botma here.
Battle of the bashes. There we go. I see Chris Heineke peeling into the pits with Jason Farmer, and I'm looking at the bottom of the timing screen as well. Charles Jordan and Emily Bentz in the pits. I thought Emily had finished her pit stops, but that might have been a mistake with Jonathan being in the pits. So hopefully this isn't a retirement for her. But
Charles is in there. Charles has been there for 500 seconds, and Emily has been there for 500 seconds. So it looks like that is unfortunately retirements for the two of them.
That's terrible. Bad luck there. I remember seeing them go in earlier, and I thought, what, are they back in, or did they just never come out? Alright, so here we go. Marius Botma in the Porsche again, pushing hard and chasing Terry Wolford as they go down the main straight. Here we go with the send into T1 for sure. Porsche has a good turn of speed, and he is well up the inside of Terry Wolford. And he just slides on through. There's nothing Terry can do about that. So Marius Botma up into where do you go now?
So 17th place there for, so 16th for Marius. And what this was our Etimatong fighting for Pro-Am, having a little move on the inside. Big lunge there through turn number 4. But it looks like our Japanese international saw him coming, allowed the space, and they were able to get back to the racing. Where is Justin Lotus currently? Because I'm looking at the lap times. So Justin, 44.4 for him, relative to Mahat and Andre. 43.8 for Andre and 43.7 for Mohat.
What was this last lap now of Justin's?
44.3. So about half a second is the gap there that Justin has lost on that lap. And we are approaching the last little 20 minute window for the guys to come in. Marco Zadanotes and Ati. A little battle, getting ready for action now. Ati F146.0, so that is his fastest lap, versus Marco Bazadano at 149.7. Wow!
Holy!
That was a big send there.
Wow. That was last year. Gosh, a little bit of contact. I think everybody saw everybody, but he was sawing away at that steering wheel to keep that BMW facing in the right direction. And Marco's not going to just let that go lying down. The BMW running super wide as they go through T4, and the Lexus is looking, that BM's running very wide. Now they're side by side as they head down to T6, T7, and he's still he's fallen in behind them. And who's coming up behind them?
That's Marius Botma.
That's Marius Botma, you're right. So this is 14th, 15th, 16th, as you see it on screen.
And Terry Wolford is there at the back of the screen now. So there are 4 cars that are going to get tangled up. Hopefully not tangled up. I don't mean like that. Oh! Ati feeling the pressure, losing the rear. And Marco is able to go past. Terry's going to slot one on the inside. Will he be able to get it through turn number 12? Ati has to go wide. Terry's going to be on the inside, but it looks like Ati will be able to hang on to the place going into turn number 13. And it's definitely gone wrong there for Ati, losing out to both Marius as well as Marco.
Terry again coming off the final chicanes and coming off those sausage curbs. So he's struggling to get the positioning of the Ferrari right through there. It's not an easy complex to come through nice and cleanly, and especially if you hit the sausage curbs, you hemorrhage time coming down the main straight. He has fallen in behind the 6T BMW, but Ati having a serious bit of pressure. Either that, or are these tires finished, and is he struggling for grip? He should be due for a pit stop shortly, I would say, unless he's completed both pit stops.
Ati, that is incorrect. He has only done the one, so he hasn't done more than 40 minutes on that set, but there is still a U set, and I think that the way the game is set up is before you were able to select your tires, where now it does put on the last qualifying tires. It puts the older set on for the last stint.
Yeah, true. Okay, just seeing Jonathan Benz going into the pits, as well as Oka, and he's just come out the pits, not doing any car repairs, as we can see, or we're not sure of that, but he has completed his pit stops and currently in 19th place. Into the pits, we see a bunch of cars coming.
It is going to be that 20-minute window now, so we've got Johan VDV. He's the only one, actually, because the other 2 that are currently there are Charles and Emily. Well, Ati and Terry, they're all over each other, and all over the back of Marco as Marco peels in to go into the pits. And Terry's got a great drive out of turn number 16. But now we just know that straight line speed of the BMW is definitely not going to help Terry. and just is able to pull just half a car length into their braking zone into turn 1.
He's going to maintain the pressure here because he's seen there again. Marco gets very loose through T2 and now into T3, and he's managed to grab the BMW by the scruff of the neck, and he's wrestling it around the corners. Terry's seeing this, but there's not much he can do about it. Let's see if he runs a little bit deep again.
It looked like Terry had a little bit of understeer wash there. Yeah. As he got in behind him through turn number 3. The car just ran a little bit too wide. Didn't quite get the front hooked up, but he has definitely caught up that gap now, setting themselves up into turn 7 and 8, and I think this is where Terry is going to be able to come back onto the BMW.
Looking just at your timing screen there, Sunjan Pillay up into 3rd place behind the likes of Moat Musa and Andre Sorodia. So he's done very well considering he was in 26th, and his emotions are very down when he was out on his outlap and the server reset. So he's certainly picked himself up and has managed to cut through the field, and this should be a great result for them.
The fact that he's gone up 23 places from where he started in 26th is an absolute great drive.
In 40 minutes.
Justin Lotus is in the pits for a 3rd time.
That's not good.
No.
Okay, so off the Jackson he's going. Okay, I'm astounded there. Could the other one maybe have been a drive-through? I don't know. I don't know if your screen showed anything.
So, yeah, unfortunately the screens that we have doesn't show the...
this is definitely a pit stop now.
It's shown it as a pit stop, and it's shown it as 31.8, so it's a 30-second stop. So whether there was a 30-second stop and go, not too sure. But what that is now going to do is release that pressure off Andres Rodio and Mohat Musa, because Andres Rodio has now gone up into 1st place, with Mohat Musa now peeling off into the pits.
And Moat, I beg your pardon, Sunjan Pillay. So he's rolling already, and that's... oh no, he's not, he's just arriving. So Sunjan also getting his 2nd stop done and dusted, and he's doing his best, as you see Moat go past the bottom of the screen. So he's on his way out already and rolling. Mark Hennebury in his Porsche coming around T3 and heading down on his way. He's currently in 2nd place. Moat Musa showing... Oh, no, he's not. He's going now. It was yellow around him. I thought there was contact.
Yeah, so it just shows that caution for him as he comes out of the pit, the pit exit, and then it just gives you a little white banner just to show that he is slower than normal. That's only because he still needs to get himself up to race pace once again. Isham in the pits, Ati in the pits, Jason in the pits, Reno in the pits, so lots of pits happening now, as well as Terry Wolford. And these will be the last pit stops for this race, and it's going to be that last 15-minute sprint to the end.
That's it. We're now in sprint mode. Whatever had to have happened has happened, and if you haven't got your pit stops done and dusted, then you're running a very long strat, and you're going to be doing a splash and dash right at the end here. But 15 minutes and some seconds counting. Looking at Jason Landsberg in the Aston Martin, and now Ruan Heineke in 8th place as they go round T4 and head towards the left hairpin. This is T5, which comes down to the lower end of the track just before they head back up to the long back straight.
And the cars you're seeing here is just ahead in the shot there. We saw just go into turn number 9. That's David Farrell in 6th. Then it is Reno in 7th, Ruan Heineke 8th, Chris Heineke in 9th, and Jason Landsberg in 10th place. So we're still fighting for 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th place with 15 minutes to go. This is how close these guys are. And from their lap times that they're doing, they're all doing those low 44s.
Just saw the Porsche there, Chris, get a little bit of his tank slap on. As you switch to the helicopter, the Aston in the back, Jason Landsberg was super deep into the bottom, into T7 and 8, and ran into the sand trap, but he hasn't dropped off too much off the back of Chris, and he's hanging in there as they come down the main straight.
So talking about making things interesting, both Ati and Marco have now pitted twice, and Marco, we saw there was a late lunge there by Ati, as how we say, forced it into turn number 1. And you do that Lexus is absolutely flying now into turn number 10 on the brakes. Ati will have the inside. He should be able to keep that car going, just leaving enough space there for Marco. Marco just losing that rear ever so slightly.
These gentlemen having fun or what? I mean, they're going flat out at each other. Good, clean racing, and a great spectacle for us to watch as well.
And what's happening is that the BMW loses the rear, Marco loses the rear, so you kind of have both of these cars trying to find that rear grip whilst all racing for position.
Andres Heredia in the pits. Andres Heredia dropping down. He's left the pits.
But he's left the pits down in 19th place. That doesn't make sense, because he should have come out near where Mohat Musa is. But that looked like it. Oh wait, hold on. There we go. Jeez.
So your timing tower is getting a bit confused. There we go. He is where he should be.
Yeah. Okay, right. Perfect. There we go. All fixed. Thank you very much.
Mark Henneberry currently leading, but we know he's still got to do a stop. So St. John, and it looks like unless some major drama happens, he will finish this race in 3rd place. But he is 23, almost 24 seconds off the back of the Project Vapor guys. So still not bad considering he was almost last.
Yeah, most definitely. So Chris Honecker getting that little move over Booty. So we'll just have a look at drive into turn number 1. Looks like he's going to go around the outside. Chris is going to squeeze Ruan to go tight on the inside, and then gets the move done through turn number 2.
So respectful racing all round.
Justin Lotus battling out with Jason Farmer. They are going to be side by side. Is there going to be contact? No, there is not. It leaves enough room on the outside, and Jason Farmer has to slot up on the inside, but he is going to come back. Is he going to have the dive into turn number 7? That entry is going to not be wide enough. Is that looks like it is Tinus Buerta, who is back on track.
Yeah, he must have had a technical issue. He's going to be he is 2 laps down. Here we catch up with Ati again, having another go at Marco Bezuidenhout's Lexus.
But Marco is ahead now from where we saw last time.
Johan VDV has a knack of getting himself in the wrong place at the wrong time.
But no harm done, and I still don't understand how my voice gets so high pitched when things get so close.
We both do it. As soon as something starts happening, we turn into like our underpants are 7 sizes too small. It's human nature with this commentating stuff. Lexus getting a bit of daylight between itself and the BMW now, so Marco's managing to pull it as we see Andres Heredia leaving.
Is that a drive-through? That I don't understand. That's pit number 3.
That's 3 pit stops. So I've got to believe he's had a couple of track cuts and he's had to do a drive-through. Because
while the man who is currently leading is Mark Henneberry, who is going to come into pits now. Andres Heredia, Mohat Musa is going to be coming around the last. Oh, there we go. Sinclair's Tribe saying Andre got a 30-second stop go. So Mark in the pits. Mohat Musa now leading the way without his Project Vapor stablemate, which now allows Sanjan Pillay to move up the order into second. But I just wanted to see where Mark Hennebury comes out, so they should be there for another 15 seconds or so. So there's Sanjan. Mark Hennebury is now moving. Is that David Farrell in the back? So this is going to be quite close between David Farrell and Sanjan Pillay. So Sanjan is now out of the pits. Okay, there's Mark. So
Mark Hennebury.
No, I'm saying the Sanjan is now out of the pits. This is Sanjan.
Yeah, but you're watching Mark.
I know, but I wanted to see where David Farrell was relative to the other guys, and there's Mark now out in 7th place.
Gotcha. So, great drive. Sanjan all the way from back into 2nd place. Unfortunate with the stop go 30 for the Project Vapor driver. But Mohamed Musa just hanging on and holding on to that position. Jason Landsberg, this is not over. He's all over the back of Chris Heineke. So Jason pushing the Aston as fast as he can. And Chris is also going to be struggling a little bit with that Porsche as we get into the dying moments of this race. We've got 7 minutes and some seconds. And watch this, Jason Landsberg attacking for all he's worth, and he might do a send down into the hairpin into T10 here. He has a look, but he's not close enough. Oh, and Chris has gone deep. Chris has gone way deep.
Way deep, and that's going to be a track cut warning, because he didn't look like he backed off too much of that accelerator. And Jason doing all the right things, applying that pressure, forcing Chris to look into his mirror. And then right behind is a Mark Hennebury. Oh, Chris is deep into turn number 14. Jason is going to definitely get a great toe down the line. And that Aston Martin should be able to pull out now, get that straight line speed, set up the overtake into the corner, and possibly move himself up into 5th place. There's the move. Jason is going to have to hold on to the line, and Mark is going to look to go around the outside through turn number 2, and he gets that move done. Now on the inside at turn 3, and Chris down 2 places in the matter of 2 corners.
Exactly. The drive out of the last sector for that Aston Martin, that helped Jason Lundberg immensely, and as you said, that pass was done pretty much on the straight and into T1. But Mark Hennebury having his last pit stop done, he has come out in 6th place. So his net overall position is great. If we look, Justin Lotus now sitting in 9th, so he's busy fighting back, and Andre Sorodia in 11th, 10 seconds off the back of them. So
and currently where we're sitting is Mohamed Musa is now 34 seconds ahead in 1st place.
Wow.
Then Sanjan Pillay, who started at the back, 24 places up the order, and David Farrell up 24 places himself into 3rd. And look at that, Rainer Roberts into 4th place. So it is Mohamed Musa in 1st, and then it is Alpha 1 Esports 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and then for the LTR boys, it is now Jason Landsberg leading over Mark Hennebury and Chris Heineke for Slick Racing.
That formation flying has been working for the Alpha 1 Esports, because they're right up there and taking a good solid 2nd, 3rd and 4th. We've just gone under the 5 minutes, so we're probably 2, maybe 3 laps left here. And there are still some positions to be sorted out. Mark Hennebury definitely all still following very closely behind Jason Landsberg. We're currently watching this dice on screen. But Chris Heineke is also not too far back there. There he is. And this still for position 5th, 6th and 7th respectively. Then Ruan Heineke, brother, further back by 2 seconds. And then further back from that, Justin Lotus in 9th, and Jason Farmer rounding out your top 10.
And it did look like Justin Lotus was going to be taking the race to the Project Vapor cars, but a third pit stop, possibly a stop-go penalty there for him, and unfortunately dropping down the order. But it's all not done and dusted just yet for this championship. We do still have the final double points, where we have seen people coming from 4th in the championship to win it all, and we're going to Spa for the last race. So it's a track that guys are going to know. It is historic, it is iconic. It is just going to be a cracker race. But looks like Mark Henneberry got a great drive through turn number 16, and the question is, will that Porsche be able to close up onto the back of that Aston? So far it doesn't look so, as Jason Landsberg goes defensive into turn 1.
Yeah, positioning the Aston exactly where he needs to be. You can see Mark got a good run on him, and there they peel through T2, 3 and 4. Dylan, what I can tell you is this man that we keep on talking about, Sunjin Pillay, currently in the championship in 4th place. He's the best part of 3 points behind Isham Domingo and about 25 points behind Andres Herodio, and he's ahead of both of them by a good fair deal of positions on this track right now. So you're going to have some updates happening on that championship table before we head into Spa.
Especially considering Andres Herodio is down in 11th.
Yes.
Just remember that Andres Herodio has banked an 80 points. Yeah. So he would drop this round, but then carry over the 80 points, so that this result has not left him out of the runnings just yet.
And Sunjin's carrying nothing.
Whoa! So Chris Heineke on the back of Mark Henneberry. It looks like the Porsche train is now putting pressure on Jason Landsberg.
Yeah, he's got one eye in one mirror and the other eye in another mirror. So Porsche's all over the back of him with just under... Well, it's 1 minute and 30
1 minute.
seconds. So.
Just want to see where Mohat is currently on track. So this might not be the last lap. So Jason is going to have to hang on for possibly one more lap after this one. With that Aston down the straight, it's definitely able to keep those Porsches at bay.
Yeah.
Isham Domingo. Whoa, that was very late looking into turn number 10. He's going to try to go around the inside. Our Japanese international, nice and tight through turn number 12, and Isham just had to give him a little bit of room there.
A little bit of net coding going on because of his bad ping rate from overseas. This driver, Oko, driving from Japan, we believe.
That is correct. Well, look, that is his nationality. Whether that's where he is...
Yeah, pinging away. Isham's probably struggling because he's seeing that Porsche bounce and ping and go left, right, center. So as the timing screen just struggles to catch up with what's going on. We jump back to Mark Henneberry in his Porsche. It looks like Jason Landsberg's got a little bit of daylight. And Mark runs a bit deep there, I tell you what. So Mark outbraked himself, as did Chris, and that's not helped their opportunity at all. The Aston Martin of Lundberg coming up to a back marker, so that traffic might actually affect this position.
No, that back marker got well off the track there.
It did.
Not going to be involved here, thank you very much.
Exit stage left completely. There we go, this must be the start of their last lap then.
And this Alpha Esports formation reminds me of the Mighty Ducks for some reason. Is that with them? You said that they were flying in formation, and right, that's exactly the vibes that it's now giving me.
So Sunjin, 38 seconds back from Wout Musa, who is now coming through into the third sector, and he's got that teammate of his just up ahead who's still dicing for that position with Oka, Isham Domingo, and I'm sure Moat's just going to back off and chill there. Possibly he might let him go by, so he doesn't need to do another lap, but I don't think so. That's full position.
Yeah, so I think with Isham and Oka, they're going to try and fight it out for that one last lap. Why is it showing that Etienne has finished the race? That's impossible. But there we go. Your race winner, Mohad Musa, crossing the line in first place. Then second place, it's got Oka as winning the race. That is not true.
Sunjin Pillay, here we have him coming around the third sector for Team Alpha One Esports. Incredible drive for him. And I believe there has been contact now between Oka and Isham Domingo. So that probably happened into T1. But Sunjin Pillay coming around the final turn and an incredible drive from the back of the grid. How does that make you feel? We'll have a chat with him shortly.
Yeah, most definitely. David Farrell, he's going to hang on to a third place there, followed by Rainer Roberts. There he is in fourth place. Jason Landsberg, look at that, using behind VDV as a tracer to across the line in fifth place with Mark Hennebury in sixth. Ruan Heineke. Where did Chris go? Chris is down in 12th place, so something has happened there. Justin Lotus is going to come home in 8th. Jason Farmer, 9th place there for him. Andres Rodio, 10th. Chris Heineke, he's going to finish in 11th place, knowing that Oka has shown that he's won this race, so we are not going mad here. Etienne Mouton in 12th. Isham Domingo in currently 13th place, which leads the question, where is our friend Oka? So if Ulrich de Jager, has he run out of fuel? Would be the question we'd like to know. So he's returned to pits. Jonathan Benz in 15, Ati Pino 16, Marco Zadano at 17. Great race there between him and Ati. Terry 18th place there for him. Lucas Joubert in 20th. Flip Van Zyl, 20th there for him. Lucas was 19th. Johan VDB 21st. Jabulani 22nd. Tinus Joubert in 23rd. And we got Charles Darden and Emily, unfortunately, the retirements there. So guys, we are going to get the top 3 into the chat. We will be with you shortly. Don't go anywhere. We definitely going to want to hear this chat.
Guys, yeah, man, I was totally bummed about that. I think it's like first time I ever seen the session just end like that. And yeah, I think we were confident for pole. Set up, everything was just perfect. And yeah, if there was ever a time that I was angry, it was tonight. But the race made it quite enjoyable, the comeback.
Sorry, Dylan. Dylan, you muted, buddy. Sorry, man. Sunjan, that was an incredible race. I mean, we picked up from your emotions when you mentioned the 15 minutes of waste of your life, but a drive from the back, and we monitored you come right through with all the drama on that track, and got a great result. A bit lucky with one of the Vapor boys getting a stop-go 30, I think. So it's still a good result for you considering where you are on the championship.
Yeah, I mean, Barcelona is one of my favorite tracks, and sitting there for that 15-minute practice session, knowing we only had 3 tires, I didn't want to go out, so it felt like an eternity. And I even had the out lap timed as well from free practice. I knew it takes me 1 minute 46 to get around, so I just knew I needed to cross the line with 3 or 4 seconds remaining. So yeah, quali was bummed out. Yeah, but lucky there with the Vapor boys and Justin with the drive-through.
Dylan, we thought you'd fallen asleep. We didn't think you had enough time. You literally worked that out to like the last 2 or 3 seconds when you left the pits for that outlap of yours.
Yeah, I think with about 30 minutes before the race, I said, okay, let me check what's the outlap time like. And then I knew, okay, if I leave at 1:52, I should make it with like a couple seconds to go. And we had it on the team, and it's just a bummer that I think the server settings were off there or something for it to just kick back.
Dylan just thought he's going to just ruin your evening, so
No.
he pushed a button.
That was definitely not Dylan's doing, considering we haven't had that on any other race, and it's been a copy and paste of the server. So we'll definitely have to go back and look at that one. David, let's go to you. Also, massive recovery drive there for you, cutting through the field and getting yourself up into 3rd place.
Yeah, I think a bit lucky through the first couple of corners, managed to avoid some of the drama, and just head down and consistency from there.
And in terms of the pit stop, was the 20 minute the way to go? Because it did look like you were matching some other drivers. we kind of saw this Alpha 1 Esports flying information reference to the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, I think the 2020 was definitely the way to go. It just puts less stress on one set of the tires.
Yeah.
An absolute fantastic drive. I think with you finishing in 3rd, a net gain of 24 places for the race. Absolutely superb.
That first lap drama, you guys obviously missed all of that, but it helped you to pass a good handful of cars coming through on the first lap. You didn't get caught up in any of that, David?
Got tagged a little bit. I think about 6 seconds damage, which I decided not to fix and just drive through.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, when you do come from the back, you're always a bit lucky.
Yeah.
But I guess any luck that comes my way, I'll definitely take.
Well, tonight you guys definitely had it. It was a great drive by both of you, so well done, man.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Let's go to you, Mohat. A tricky race, Justin, definitely keeping you guys on your toes for the first half. Andres Rodeo pushing really hard. So an 11th place there for him, but he did have that 80 points banked. So while he will probably drop this round, he is still going in right on your tail for that double SARCO championship.
Yeah, no, that's good to hear. Because he was pretty much devastated with that second pit stop. Yeah, I would say, well, besides me, the entire Project Vapor team seems to have fallen apart in today's race. It was a bit hectic. So yeah, the comms was a bit heated. I just want to say, hey guys, just keep your head up. Let's go into the next one fighting, man. And glad to hear that Andre still has a chance. He's really pushing this season. I'm enjoying racing door to door with him as well. And yeah, I mean, after that first pit stop, when we saw what happened to Justin, we were like, I was like, hey, you know what? It's open cards. Let's go. Let's start moving.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know what happened in his second pit stop. I believe he sped into the
Is that
pits.
what happened?
So yeah, he got slapped with that stop go 30. It's a bit hectic. But on that note, Alan, I don't know if you remember the first race you commented, or the first race I was in, you commented on. I don't know if you remember that race, and I don't know if you remember the track, and I don't know what if you remember what happened in the pits. But Andre was also in the race as well, and he was apparently laughing at me for what I did in the pits, and Alan in the commentary booth was like, these guys need to practice their pit stops. And that's what was all that was playing through my mind when the pit stops came into play. I was like, I'm gonna ace it today, and I'm gonna mention it to Alan. So
Good.
yeah,
Okay.
those pit stops were for you. But yeah, just a bummer to what happened to Andre. Yeah, it's laughable. We'll see after the championship.
We'll see.
But at the moment, yeah, he's kind of bummed.
It was still a strong showing, what? Because I mean, you were the best part of almost 30-something seconds up the road, you know. So it was a perfect strat and a perfect drive from you tonight.
Yeah, let's just say I got very lucky. Like Sunjin said, I was watching him in the practice and stuff like that. They definitely had a lot of pace in those Ferraris. I mean, Justin also showed it there in that first stint. I don't know if they took older tires on the first stint. Did they go on the scrub quali tires, or if they took new ones? But yeah, it was a bit difficult to keep a decent space because I went on the scrub and also kind of overfueled. But yeah, after that first stint, everything seemed to be clicking. The pace was there, consistency was there. But a big congratulations to Sunjin. When I saw what happened to him in qualifying, I was like, oh damn, that's not a nice way to start the race.
No.
And then when we got the feedback from the guys in the stream, when we heard no, he's behind Andre, and I was like, oh no, that's a drive. That's a quality drive. So well done to him.
I think if we had to have a trophy for the best drive of the day kind of thing, Sunjin, you take it hands down, buddy. Definitely David wouldn't be far behind, but yeah, you managed to get yourself all the way up there, and it was a great show.
Yeah, thanks Alan. Thanks Musa. Well done to you as well.
No,
Well done.
thanks man.
Solid drive again.
Sweet, thanks James.
So guys, the scene has now been set for the final double points at Spa. Really looking forward to that one and how that one's going to pan out. And we have seen dramatic ends to the season with the double points at Spa. It's really, the story does still need to be written, so really looking forward to it. A big shout out to all our fans that came on and supported through the evening. Thank you very much. We really do appreciate it, and we do appreciate all the comments. The drivers do go back and watch the streams later and do see those comments. A big thank you to NAG, the supporters of the season, as well as MSI, who we are an MSI exclusive streaming machine that can be used both ways. Never mind, I'll keep it adult friendly. And to once again to yourself, Mohat, Sunjin and David, great drives there, and really can't wait to see the showdown next week.
That's Spa.
Indeed. So guys, really looking forward to seeing you next week, and until then, keep racing, keep practicing, and thanks for watching.